Good morning, students. The topic of the day is reported speech. Reported speech is also termed as narration. And in this topic, we will be today taking up interrogative sentences. Sentences are of four types, basically four types: statements, then imperatives, exclamations or exclamatory sentences, and interrogatives. So today we will be taking up, we have already done 3 types, and today will be the last topic or subtopic related to this main topic. This is on page 312 and 313 of your book. Interrogatives, as I said, they are also known as questions. However, there are certain rules and very strict and you can say rigid rules to change direct speech of interrogative direct speech into an indirect one, and you need to follow them precisely, otherwise your answer will be marked wrong. Say children, when we speak we can make minor mistakes it is an informal talk, but when we are talking formally, and we need to be very strict, or you can say very particular about the rules. So that is how the rules related to interrogative sentences are also very, you can say they are very few as compared to rest of the sentence types. But then again you have to be very particular about one thing, especially that we follow a jump rule here. This jump rule, if not followed and the rest of the sentence is correct, will not fetch you marks. You need to follow this jump rule. So starting with this, let's first take up interrogatives. What are interrogatives? As I said, they are also known as questions. Now usually there are 2 types of questions. All this is written in your book on page 312. I am just simplifying them in form of value points or points there, so that it is easy for you to understand what is written there. Basically there are 2 types of interrogatives. That means 2 types of questions. One which have yes, no as your answer, and the other one which has a full statement, or you can say statement only. Don't call it a sentence, it is a statement. Statement as the answer. For example, if I ask you, do you want a cup of tea? Answer will be yes or no. And if here I say, what do you like to drink in the evening? Probably the answer you may give, I like to drink tea, coffee, beverages, soft drinks, anything there you can add. So here when I had put the question, what do you like to drink? Their answer was in a statement. And here when I asked the question, do you want a cup of coffee, or would you like a cup of coffee or tea? Your answer could be yes or no. So basically you have to remember and check whether your direct speech is in yes no type answer or having a statement as the answer. In the first go, we will be learning how to change a direct speech which has a question there and the answer is yes or no. So I will be writing a sentence there. Anu said to Amit, are you hungry? So your first attempt should be to make it out whether it is a yes no type question or it is a question which has statement as the answer. This you can answer yourself. Answer probably will be yes or no. So I will write here Y and N. Just for the sake of beginners, or those who are beginning it, you have done this particular topic in your junior classes, that is class 6 as well. But here what is there, again I would suggest, there also I told you, many of those who studied from me, I told you to write Y and N there. So again make it a habit to write Y and N. If you see a question mark in your direct speech, that means it is an interrogative and you have to choose, make a choice of whether it is yes no type or a statement type. It is having statement type or yes no type the answer. So now asked, said to is told to is changed to told in statements. Imperatives, it changes to something else. And if you remember, what is it? I have been telling you always, this is the reporting verb. So in the direct interrogative statement, sentence, the reporting verb said to is usually changed into asked. It is very easy to write asked there, and there will be no negative marking, even though the question is a kind of interrogation or an inquiry or any other thing. So if you cannot remember all the verbs there, in your book the verbs are given ask, inquire, wonder, etc. But you can simply use the reporting verb, change the reporting verb into asked. So Anu asked, we don't use to here. Amit, are you hungry? Now when you have a yes no type as the answer, you will use if in place of inverted commas. What you will use? If in place of inverted commas. And then I said to follow a jump rule. Jump, who will jump? Naturally a living thing will jump. So who is a living thing? If you can make out from here, this you is a living being. So this will jump. And where it will jump? It will jump to the place very next to if. Or if you take the question, it will jump before this question word. So if, now this you stands for the listener. Remember, I, me, my, we stand for the speaker and you stand for the listener. Now when I speak this I, you, all, we are revising change of pronouns as well. So you will change according to the listener. If you stands for Amit, Amit is a male person. So if he, R changes to was hungry. And full stop. We never use a question mark in the indirect speech. I hope children you understood this part. Let's take up 2-3 more example. And the basic rule, as I said, is that first recognize whether the answer could be yes no type or a statement type. After recognizing that, you have to change the reporting verb into asked. This is the simplest form. You can use inquired also, but avoid using, because usually children make spelling mistake. Instead of I, they write E, and that is how marks may be deducted. So write there asked because it is a question. Question is always asked. And then if you had made out that it is yes no type, we will be using if in place of inverted commas. We don't use that conjunction here. Okay, we use if. And then the most important thing is the jump rule. I'll write here jump. So every time you get a question, 2 things are important. First the yes no type, and then write JP or JR, something like that. JR stands for jump rule. And who will jump? The person whom you are speaking to, or the noun will jump. A living being will jump. So if he was hungry. If you make it like that, if was he, something like that, it will be totally wrong. We should mention the person whom you are speaking to or whom you are referring to here. And that is how you can say a comic way of remembering this is I usually speak the jump rule, and who will jump? The subject here. The subject of the reported speech will jump. Not here, it is here. Let's take another example. Dad said to me, is your friend fine? Now, as I told you, the first thing you will notice here is whether it has yes no type as the answer or the statement as the answer. So, is your friend fine? Either you will say yes or no depending upon the condition of your friend. So, just for the sake of not missing any rule, I will write here YN. YN, and said to, as I told you, will change into asked. He's not telling something, he is asking something. We always ask a question. So, Dad asked me. Now, it is yes no type. Inverted commas will be replaced by using if. Now, your friend, this you and your stands for the, he's talking to me. So, if my friend is will change to was. Every present tense changes into past tense provided it is not a universal truth or something you can say which is a regular habit. Was fine, and we never use a question mark, it is always a full stop. So, 3 basic rules. Inverted, first of all, said to changes to asked, then inverted commas replaced by if, and jump rule is very important. I forgot to write here where it will jump, before this, or you can say after the inverted commas you can, and inverted commas have been replaced by if. So, you will write here JR. Now comes the second type of interrogative. The second type is when your question is a WH type, means starting with a WH word, what, where, and this how is also a WH family word, children. It is taken as a WH family word. So, any question beginning with WH or even how, or in other words, if that question has a statement as an answer, then what are the changes? Then said to is changed to asked. This WH word remains there itself. This is direct speech, this is indirect speech. And then we follow the jump rule. For whom we will follow jump rule? For the subject of the reported speech. And which part of the sentence is the reported speech? The one which is within inverted commas. So, the first rule is that you will change said to asked. Then WH word remains the same. Then jump rule is followed, and rest of the rules are same, children. What you have done earlier, tenses change, adverb of time and place also changes. Based on this, without erasing the bottom part, I'll give you one example. Hope it will be clear to you. And at last, children, I will be writing the rules in a tabular form on the board. That you need to copy. Only that rule table you need to copy in your notebooks. So, let me give you an example to this. Let it be, Dad said to me, underline first only, that you have to change said to, comma, inverted commas on, what or where is your report card? I will not write the full thing, just to save time. Where is your report card? Now, whom is Dad speaking to? Dad is speaking to me. So, this your will be for me. So, who will jump? The subject of the reported speech. As I said, reported speech subject is your report card. Who is the subject or what is the subject? Subject is something you are talking about. And what we are talking about? Talking about your report card. So, here it will be jump rule as well. And where it has to jump? It has to jump after the inverted commas. So, the rule is that W said to will change to asked. Then WH word remains the same. So, where will be where only? That asked, sorry, I missed the word me, where Now jump rule is to be followed, right? JR. Every time you get a question, make it a point whether to write yes, no or S for the statement as the answer. Next thing what you need to write is this JR, who will jump here. Okay, and remember only the subject of the reported speech will jump. Where my report card will change to was, and there is no question mark to be used in the indirect speech. Did you get it, children? Hope it is. If not, then rewind the video once again and watch from the part you have not understood. Let's take one more example and then I'll be winding up the topic. I will take the example from your book itself. Okay, he said to me, this is direct speech. He said to me, comma, inverted comma, start, what is the time? What is the time? Now again, let's come to said to has to change, underline. Then WH has to retain there only, let it be there only, or you can simply put a double line there. Very minute stroke. And then what has to jump? The subject has to jump. And what is the subject? Subject is something we are talking about. What I am talking about here is the time. So this will follow the jump rule. We will write here JR. So he asked me, what will remain what only? What the time was. So children, with this topic of interrogatives under the topics, main topic that is reported speech is over. If you wish to, you may read page 312. The left side describes all the rules there, and if not, then you can watch this again and again, and that is how it will be clear. However, there is one thing very important on page 312. If you have shall in the direct speech, shall indicating normal future. Normal future means if it is used in terms of a verb only. There is no permission seeking, you can say intention in asking that question. Shall indicating normal future in direct speech becomes would. As per the rule you have learned, shall changes to should, but this shall changes to should only if the sentence shows some kind of compulsion, some kind of thing which you cannot avoid doing. So in this case, the simple meaning of this you can say rule is that if shall stands for a verb or is used as a verb in the question or in a sentence, you can say, then it will change to would. But if this shall is indicating a request that you are asking for permission, or it's a request only, then it will change to should. Look at the example. He said, shall we ever find our stolen pup? This shall indicates he is asking, will they be able to find their pup? So in this case, shall has changed to would. But here, this shall is a sort of request. You are asking someone to do something for you. It's a form of request. So in this case, shall will change to should. He said, shall I pour you some more juice? You are seeking for permission. You are asking for permission. And, or you can say, it's a form of a soft and polite question. So in this case, shall will change to should. This is what I meant when I said something important is there on page 312 of your book. Another thing is that would in the direct speech, if you have a question that begins with would, then it remains unchanged. That means there will be no change further in would. Another important thing which I came across here is, though I wind it up saying that that's it, I would like to add here the two main points which I came across besides what I have taught you on the board. In questions that begin with do or does, if your question begin with do or does, then what happens in the indirect speech is the main verb is changed into simple past tense. See the example, do you believe has changed into I believed. You will not change do to did. If you change do to did, the question will be wrong. Do cannot, because we do not frame a question in the indirect speech. That is why do has been changed. Do believe has been changed into believed. Read the sentence. She said to me, do you believe in ghost? She asked me. See, it is a yes no type. Either you will say yes or no. So she asked me if I believed. Don't write it if did or did I believe. That will be wrong, because did I is again a question and we do not make a question in the indirect speech. Next, in questions beginning with did, same way you will not put had in place, because you have learned that did changes into, did is a simple past changes into past perfect, that is had. Actually did will not change, did will change, but the structure of the sentence will be different. Let's read. Questions beginning with did, that is past tense, are changed into past perfect. How do they change? That you have to keep in mind, and remember the jump rule, children. That is how, if you do not follow jump rule, you will be framing a question again, and we do not make questions in the indirect speech. Lucy asked me. See, here they have used the word whether, but I tell the children not to use. Both the words if and whether means the same, but I tell children not to use whether, because usually their spellings are wrong. So if the storm, now do not change there. Usually what do the children do? Lucy asked me had the storm. That will be wrong, because starting the indirect speech with a verb means you are making a question. So whether the storm had caused a lot of damage. Remember this and mark this in your book as well. And children, while solving the exercise, first you will be doing the circled parts, which I am showing you here. All these circle parts under category 1. Question number 5, 6th is cut. Question number 5, 7, 9 and 10. Then in category 2, 1, 2, 4, 6, 7. These all are yes no type. So you may circle them side by side or in the second go and write there y/n to show that it is a type which has the answer yes or no. Rest all are WH type, or you can say the questions which have full statement or complete statement as the answer. So you will be solving this category 1 and 2, the circled questions first, and then you will be doing the WH type, that is questions beginning with WH words. And now, as I said, children, I will be showing you what is written on the board. That particular part you have to write in your notebook. Hope I have not missed anything important which I spoke in my the beginning. In case I have, then I'll make amendments when I have the next class with you.